Hello, everyone. We're here today with Richard.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Richard, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. I'm Richard. I'm 18. I've worked in the YouTube self-improvement niche for about a year, and I've been on self-improvement for about two.
So, Richard, would you like to tell the audience how you started self-improvement?
My started in a different way than most people. Usually, we start going to the gym and then we discover meditation and journaling and other habits. But I actually started with meditation because I saw a YouTube ad about a meditation course that promised to be happier, better at work, more productive. And I bought the course, and that's where everything started.
So, you first wanted to be better in work, so then you discovered meditation, correct?
Exactly. And then I started going to the gym.
Okay. So that means that you had a YouTube channel, I believe, before you started meditation.
Well, I started meditation about 2 years ago. That was the start of my self-improvement journey. After about a year, when I had already started going to the gym and I was already doing all the self-improvement habits, I decided to start a channel.
Okay, fair enough. So, we like to tell the audience why you chose YouTube as your business model, as your side hustle.
Well, I think that at our age, especially in Italy and many European states, taxes are not easy, and as a minor, we cannot do what many people in the US or maybe in the UK do. And YouTube, social media in general, is a great business model, I think, because you can start building your audience, building trust without getting money from the beginning, and that allows you to work as a minor. I chose YouTube rather than every other social media because it's simply what I use to consume for self-improvement content, and I think that long form can provide better value. But I actually tried Instagram too.
Fair enough. I am now both creating a YouTube channel and, of course, I'm building up my social media like Instagram page. I completely agree with the thing of like taxes and trying to sell stuff in European countries. Of course, I'm an ex-e-commerce dude. I still have my shop, but it's kind of structured in a different manner. And yeah, building your base and your audience and your trust before them monetizing it in the future is honestly the reason why I did start YouTube, and it is the easiest thing for us Europeans. So of course, the way to monetize your community or your audience is either through coaching calls or through communities in general. There's also other ways, but mainly these are two things. So, are you thinking about creating a community in the future?
Well, what I want to do is mainly provide value because I realize many emerging self-improvement channels, following what Hamza did, are creating community focused on self-improvement. And there is so much free value already on YouTube that I would not make people pay for something that's slightly better than what they can find for free. I want to give them structure, I want to give them a method, and that's what is missing in the self improvement space. People know all of those, know all these habits, know discipline, know working out, know meditation, know journaling, but I don't think it's easy to understand how to connect these things and how to actually achieve results. If you think about it, most people on self improvement will never achieve their goals, and there's a reason for that.
That is correct. There is a reason why it is called the 1%, and that is because the 99 will never reach it. But saying this, how will you then monetize your business and your community? Because of course, if you don't want to create a community and you want to create high quality free products, how will you then monetize it? Have you thought about it yet?
I will later down the line create paid products, but it won't just be a community, it will be something that I can confidently charge money for. I want to give, as I said, structure to self-improvement. So I want to create not simply a course, but a series of courses to navigate all areas of self-improvement and to integrate them into your routine. Because if you think about it, many people on self-improvement go through stages. They take a course on something, they focus on something, and they get really good at it. Then once then a few months later, they they start mastering something else and they lose the skill they had before. As an example, I used to meditate every day for months in a row, but when I started my YouTube channel, I lost that habit because it's hard to do all of the hundreds of habits in self-improvement, right? And integrating them is something that takes time or takes knowledge on how to build a very good routine. And that's what is not really online for free on YouTube. That's how I would monetize my audience.
So that is actually very interesting because I've never actually seen something or someone who wants to bring that kind of other aspect to self-improvement, and it is given it another dimension and it is unique. So that is absolutely brilliant. The way I try to keep on top of all my habits is that I've created a habit tracker and then gamifying it. So basically, I'm quite a competitive person, also with myself. So basically, say I have 10 things that I want to do. I want to aspire to get that 10 out of 10 day because it's nice and I feel good when I get it. So that's the way I do it. And then I kind of make it like a grading system where from six above, it's a positive day, five, it's meh, and then from four under, it's a bad day. And that's how I keep track of my past days, what kind of form I'm in, what trend I'm in. And also, it has given me another opinion on you don't have to do everything every single day. I remember when I would journal at the start of the year when I didn't have a habit tracker. The biggest problem was for me at least, I was kind of deteriorating my mental health by writing the things I didn't do, even though I did a bunch of good things that day. But I'd say, yeah, but I didn't meditate or I didn't this. And I'm like, if you can get to six things out of 10 that are all positive and you barely did anything bad, it's still a good day. And some days you're going to do, some days you're going to do more, some days you're going to do less. But the thing is just keeping consistent when doing a lot of the good things, not necessarily all of them. I think that's the best way to go through it, and then slowly higher the level every time. So I had one habit tracker before with a like slightly different system. I had 9 things, and the minimum was 5. I then moved it onto 10 because getting 5 things that were easy out of 9 was becoming too easy, and then I switched it onto a slightly harder system, and now I'm in a really good period, and probably by the start of summer, I'll change it up again. Of course, also to match my routine during the summer, which of course changes. And yeah, I think that is probably the best way to do it, in my opinion. That's the way it works best for me. Um, so you haven't told the audience yet, but you're switching your YouTube channel from you talking on camera with a video to just talking without a camera on. Okay. Would you like to tell the audience why you're doing it, and also for who it's probably better to go faceless, and for who it's better to not go faceless, and of course keep talking on camera. Like for example, me, I prefer talking with a camera on.
Yeah, as you said, I started with my face. I actually started my YouTube channel like many other self-improvement YouTubers who saw one of the biggest Hamza's video on the topic of YouTube. And in the video, he challenged people to upload a video. And that's what I did. I made a video a week for a few months. I was slowly growing, but there was something missing, and that's what I realized. And that's what I realized a few months later when I got into the how to grow on YouTube fast niche, when I discovered about thumbnails, when I discovered about pacing. The problem that most self-improvement YouTubers have is that they make videos for themselves and not for the audience. They pre- what they do is simply find a niche, find something that they are good at, and post about it. This is good if you put it like this, but let's view it from the user perspective. You are on YouTube, you are on self-improvement. In your homepage, you can see Hamza, you can see Alex Hormozy, you can see Iman Gadzi, and then there's this new guy who has a pretty long video, who has a boring title, at least it's not original. It has a boring thumbnail. It doesn't make you want to click it. But let's say you do, because you're really interested in the topic. You click on the video, and then you see a guy that's around your age talking, and the video is raw, it's not edited, it's Hamza style. And yeah, Hamza can do those kind of videos, but he has already 2 million subscribers. Those small self-improvement YouTubers who do those kind of videos, they're sabotaging themselves, because nobody wants to see another Hamza clone talk about things that most people already know. And that's the reason why I want to go faceless. If you show your face, especially if you are an English speaker, most people will just see you as an Hamza clone. If you go faceless, if you use an avatar, if you use an edited style that actually makes your videos engaging, people will notice you. You will stand out from the crowd, and that's what you should do. You should make videos for the audience. You should think about, what would my audience like to watch?
So it's in the last few weeks, Hamza's actually talked about him going from making videos for the audience and the fact that a lot of his audience is still like lower level self-improvement, and him now making videos like higher level business videos talking about churn and talking about these kind of more technical things. And from my personal standpoint, of course, you don't want to necessarily create a community in the future. So I completely agree with what you're saying when you talk about from your perspective. From my perspective, I'm like, I don't need 100,000 people to watch me. I just need 150 of them to fuck with me properly, to like legit like what I'm saying, and to be prepared to then come into my community, spend the money to then get the value from me, and also get the value from me because I'm saying it and because you fuck with what I say and with the way I say things and the way I do stuff. I like being quite original in the way I say things. I've got quite a like strong personality, so at least in my personal life, I've always had people that either hate me or love me. It's like kind of been the way it is. So I've kind of tried to transfer that into my content, and yeah, I do show my face. I feel like it's going to create more trust, and yeah, maybe it is copying the business model and the style. But honestly, when you've got so many different things where you talk about different things, you take a different approach to it. You've got a completely different like character, and you're a completely different person. Maybe some people and maybe most people are going to be like, he's a Hamza knockoff. But those who don't think it are then going to fuck with you properly, and they're probably going to end up being those who then fund your business and give you what a living is. So that is at least my goal and my perspective on it. But I completely agree yours to what you're saying.
Well, let's think about it this way. Since when did you start following Hamza?
It's probably been a year.
Okay, so he was still making edited videos, or did he start
Yeah,
posting raw content already?
yeah. He was. He had a few guides which were less edited, but yeah, it was mainly edited content.
Okay. Would you define yourself as a real Hamza fan? That if he released a product and you actually had the opportunity to buy it, would you actually define yourself as a loyal Hamza subscriber? Let's say he releases a cheap course, a course that's not that expensive. Would you actually buy it? Do you trust Hamza? Do you trust what he has to
Depends.
say?
I absolutely trust what he says. I've watched every single of his last, I think, 55 videos in a row every single day. As soon as he posts them, I've watched them. It's around like 50. But of course, being a minor, not having that much money, I haven't bought any of his products. But I have thought about joining the Adonis school many times. Just that the price for me personally, being young, is just quite high, and I haven't monetized my business yet. So yeah, that's the only problem. But I have thought about doing it many times.
So Hamza posting edited style content was not only fun to watch, but made you into a loyal subscriber, right?
I actually slightly disagree on that. I started watching Hamza's content a lot more when he started posting the unedited raw content, which was different. That's when I actually started fucking with him
Mm.
properly. So I actually became a loyal Hamza supporter when he started posting the more unedited content because he stood out from the crowd because he wasn't making the edited content and because also it actually gave a lot more value and I improved a lot more. And I kind of
Mm.
attribute most of my improvement and my slight success to Hamza. I'm being completely honest. So yeah, I if you're trying to say that the edited content brought me to then be a loyal subscriber, I honestly think that if he still made the edited content, I'd watch it when I needed that dopamine, when I watched it when I didn't have anything to do. Nowadays, I take Hamza and watching his videos just one step under my work. But it's still like I'm still focused, I'm still there in this chair looking at my monitor, and I'm focused when I'm doing it. So I don't binge watch his content. If, for example, Iman Gatz's videos, I can watch them while I'm eating some oatmeal because they're fun to watch. Ham's videos, honestly, aren't that fun nowadays, at
Ex-
least. But you still fuck with what he says, and of course, his like character and his personality gives a like slightly funny sometimes, and sometimes he gets angry at you, and you still have those dopamine hits because of his personality, not because of the editing. I really like that about him.
That's exactly what that's exactly why I decided to go faceless because there are some YouTubers that you watch as professors that you learn from, that you take notes. You literally set aside some time because the videos are long. You grab your notes and you focus all the way through. And then there are those YouTubers that you actually enjoy watching. And since I'm not the most accomplished man on earth, I don't pretend that people will listen to my unedited content. But what I would really like is that they get into self improvement and they get some valuable advice while being entertained. Because if you can grow and be entertained at the same time, I think that's a lot of value and that will get a lot of people to like you.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I guess we just have like two different approaches. Of course, you've just said that you want to have a lot of people liking you. I'm of the idea that I just want a few people to fuck with me properly. So we have two different approaches to this, but I mean, let's be honest. Both of them are valuable. Both of them go to two different, like, are looking for two different goals, but both are valuable. Both are, if done with discipline and done with like full intent, they can both work, and you just have to fucking put the work in. That's it. That is like the story of everything, right? You just have to fucking work hard and be smart about it. That's how it works. Work hard, work smart
Exactly.
and hard. So I would like to also ask you, of course, you've been doing YouTube for about a year. You've posted how many videos?
Uh, about 20 or less, a bit less.
Fair enough. So about 20 videos, but most of the videos were actually quite long, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm. Uh, yeah, I started with long unedited videos, and the more I learned about YouTube, the more I started editing because I really like the idea of a lot of value compressed into a very short amount of time. And that's why my latest video on the channel are very short. I actually made a few more, but they are not.
Fair enough. So I'd like to ask you, of course, you've been doing YouTube for quite a long time. Maybe I haven't produced that much content because, of course, I mean, 20 videos isn't that much, but it's still a good amount. Could you tell me the lessons that you've learned so far in your YouTube journey and in your self-improvement journey as well, if you will?
First, I already said that if you want to make content, make content thinking about your audience, make content thinking about what would make them curious, what would make them click, and what would really help them. You don't want to waste their time. But if I had to find another advice that I found recently and that has been my compass for self improvement, is that you have to be clear about your end goals. Let's say most people end goal will be happiness, right? You want to live a happy life, you want to be fulfilled. Let me read it. And I recently learned about the SPIRE model. That's a comprehensive model created by psychologists to map down everything that makes you happy. That model, I highly recommend anyone to check it out because it really tells you that you need purpose, you need mindfulness, but you also need connections, you need physical exercise. So if you want to get really good at self-improvement, you should start with the end goal. In my case, it's happiness. Then break it down, break it into all the path that can make you happy and work on that. Because it's easy for people who got into self improvement watching Hamza to think that self improvement itself is the goal. And I get what they are saying, but growth should be the goal, not self improvement. You should have an habit tracker because that habit tracker makes you grow, not because your goal in life is to check things, is to check your habit tracker. You have
Um,
to always journal, always have a direction. You can cut the last part, it was
if
useless.
yeah, if I can interrupt, I believe that self-improvement is not the end goal. It is a tool. It's the way you get to improvement. It's the way you get to growth. It's the way that you reach your goals. It is through self-improvement. Of course, if you think about it personally, like if you think about it deeply, your business completely stems from who you are. So, of course, self-improvement is extremely important in reaching your goals, but it is only a tool. It is not your end goal, is not doing all the self-improvement habits. Your goal is taking the ones that are most important to reach your goals and fucking rinsing them and working hard. Like it's the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of stuff you do will only bring 20% of the results, but the 20% of the stuff you do would bring the 80% of the results. And yeah, it's that disproportionate way of like the top quality things will bring most of the results. That is absolutely fundamental. And
Exactly.
yeah, that is it. So if you had to go back and think about what you'd do differently in your YouTube career and in your self-improvement, what would it be?
Well, it would be search more, make more research, try to understand why you're
Oh,
doing this and get good at it from the start because it's easy to say that you should go to the gym and try out exercises. You should not stay you should not stay months closed in your house to find out what's the perfect workout, and I agree with that. But the problem with most people is that they don't focus on the perfect workout, and that's good. They go to the gym, they try out machines, they get comfortable with the environment, but they don't even do the tiny bit of research that would make their progress much faster. So, my advice, what I would do differently is always searching for the fastest path to growth. And the fastest path might be a course that summarizes a lot of information. It might be going to the gym and when you get home researching about what are the best exercises, what are the best training splits, what actually matters when you do the exercise, you have to value knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is actually potential power. It becomes power when you use it. But if you don't acquire it in the first place, it doesn't matter how much you act. Consistency is not everything. You have to work smart
knowledge,
too, as you said.
knowledge is potential power. I really like that quote. But when you talk about the gym, so I'm actually kind of different. I'm the kind of dude who I need to find the stuff that I like. For example, the gym, right? If I can find a split where I like doing it, I'll fucking rinse it and I'll do more. I need to like the shit I'm doing. If not, or I'll really struggle to do it. The kind of dudes who need discipline to go to the gym more than half of the time, you're gonna end up losing. That you can be the most disciplined person on the fucking planet, and a year and a half goes by, and you've not enjoyed a fucking workout. You're gonna make less gains. You're not gonna be fucking happy. You're not gonna enjoy the gym. You're gonna start fucking hating it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And when you talk about research, I'm the kind of dude who likes to act a lot. I started off my ecom business doing barely any research. I just fucking jumped in it and did it. I'm the kind of dude who's like, through experience, you'll find out, right? And I've kind of got nothing to lose. So at my age, why the fuck not try? But the thing is, you're completely correct with the thing that if you do a little bit of research, you'll be so much more efficient. And
Exactly.
your way of doing things is through efficiency, and I actually really admire that about you. The fact that you research a lot of quite like nooks and crannies of self-improvement, and you look at the maybe smaller things like the psychologist, and you are a very knowledgeable guy. You are a really smart guy, and I absolutely admire that about you. There's not many people who actually delve into knowing a lot of stuff, especially in self-improvement. Like I feel like people feel like they're smart just because they know more than most people because they've watched some fucking YouTube. I'm like, bruv, yeah, you know the word discipline. Maybe you know the etymology of the word discipline. So it's like delve into what actually is the science of things and also psychology of things and all that of all those kind of things. And find the things that fascinate you, then fucking learn about it. We were talking about YouTube before, and I'm like, if you're the kind of dude who knows these things, most people don't. Even people like fucking Hamza and Eman and Alex don't know a few fucking research papers from some psychologist, which is fucking right wing, so he's a fucking smart, he ain't some fucking leftist wokist. You're gonna have that competitive edge. You're gonna have that competitive edge, and that is the difference. And I think that is probably the next step of my self improvement is being smarter and being more scientific with things and not just fucking going running and bulldozing at stuff and hitting a bunch of fucking pillars and walls. It's probably run me more damage than it has success. So yeah, that's actually given me quite something to think about. So I've got no more questions written down. I just wanted to say that yeah, it was wonderful having you on. You're one of the only people that can actually make me think who isn't on the internet. Like you're one of the only dudes that I know that can make me think about stuff. And we've got contrasting opinions on some things, but it was an absolutely brilliant conversation. I'm massively grateful for this, and you'll probably be in my gratitude journal tonight.
Hard to hear that. It was a pleasure for me to be here with you. I think we should do it again.
Absolutely, we should definitely do a second episode. I'm pretty sure the viewers would like it as well. So I'd say that is the end of the video. I will link his channel in the description. Have you created it yet?
Yep, it's created. Nobody subscribed yet, but it's created.
Perfect. Go fucking blow his account up. We'll link it down in the description. I'll link his Instagram as well. And yeah, have a nice one. Bye.
See ya.